Everybody on board signed on for this mission knowing they might not return. Whatever it is, it's getting closer.
We're running out of air.
We've lost contact.
Here in Sullivan's Crossing, we treat everyone like family.
There's no case that the Spencer sisters can't solve together.
We don't have stars like this in the city now, do we?
Sullivan's Crossing, followed by the Spencer sisters. Wednesday starting at 8/7 Central on the CW.
Now at 10, dueling disasters in the Middle East, intensifying war, and a humanitarian crisis that's putting a lot of innocent lives at risk. Tonight, the Israeli army signaling a ground invasion is imminent.
Cracking down on mall mischief. Tonight, one local shopping center is stepping up security. The bad behavior that has customers saying enough is enough.
We're all struggling out here, you know? It's just tough.
A costly casualty of the ongoing actor strike. A longtime Hollywood prop house on the verge of closing now for good. The owner's heartfelt message to Hollywood producers. Now, on the news at 10. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the news at 10. I'm Rick Chambers.
And I'm Corrine Winter. Israel's war against Hamas rages on as a conflict continues into day 16 overseas, and the death toll is rising on both sides.
Yeah, officials say about 1,400 Israelis have been killed since that war began, and more than 4,000 people in Gaza have been killed during the retaliation. And north of Gaza, Israeli Defense Forces targeted a Hezbollah observation post in Lebanon after an anti-tank missile was reportedly launched from there toward Israel.
KTLA's Chris Wolf joins us here in studio with tonight's developments. Chris.
Absolutely. Corrine and Rick, the U.S. and many allies are urging Israel to set clear goals for a potential ground invasion of with Gaza for that planned, possibly imminent ground attack. Palestinian civilians are being warned to move to the southern parts of Gaza for their own safety. The Israel Defense Forces say they will enter the Gaza Strip for, quote, an operational and professional mission to destroy the activists of Hamas. Humanitarian efforts on another front gained some ground today. Some relief amid the devastation of war. A steady stream of humanitarian aid rolled into Gaza from Egypt Saturday morning for the first time since Israel closed off the Palestinian territory in the two-week-old conflict. 20 trucks carried food, water, and medicines through the Rafah crossing, which opened temporarily for the critical supplies. The United Nations describes the development as, quote, the difference between life and death for so many people in Gaza. However, humanitarian groups call the delivery just a drop in the ocean and say essential items must continue to flow into the war-torn area. Reports say Gaza's 2.3 million Palestinians were rationing food and drinking dirty water, with half the population fleeing their homes. On another front, Israel's military spokesman announced Saturday defense forces are planning to intensify airstrikes in Gaza in preparation for the next stage of the country's war on Hamas, the Palestinian militant group which controls Gaza and which launched an all-out surprise attack on Israel October 7th. Following President Biden's trip to Israel Wednesday, world leaders gathered at a Middle East peace summit in Egypt. Arab and Muslim states called for an immediate end to Israel's offensive, while Western countries focused on humanitarian relief for civilians, among other goals.
Hamas must release all hostages immediately and without conditions. We must ensure all hostages, including Israelis and other nationals, can return safely with their families.
Within the last 2 weeks of fighting, nearly 5,500 people have been killed and thousands of others injured.